No gainsaying what the effects of a heightened banditry would be in the northwest of the country. News reaching us say that hunger, a most potent outcome of conflict, is enveloping parts of Zamfara, Sokoto, and parts of Kebbi states. Bandits are said to be looting farms and shops. These outlaws have blocked access to farmlands. At the risk of sounding alarmist, hunger is staring northwesterners of the country in the face. So let's go there and talk about what's happening. We'll be back shortly. Our last story would have to do with bandits in the northwest, and now they are wreaking more havoc than we thought or even imagined. Famine or hunger appears to be staring northwesterners of this country in the face, and this is not something that pleases anybody. Jide, we are in the throes of harder times, or aren't we?
Yes, we are, and this is the reason we've been appealing to the armed forces to deal a decisive blow on bandits in the northwest, because the northwest and the north central part of our country constitutes the food basket of our country. If farmers can't go to their farms peacefully and reap the result of their hard work, then we are staring hunger in the face. The governor of Kaduna State warned recently that hunger could result from the fact that bandits were running rampant in the northwest. And this is what we are seeing. They take over communities just the same way Boko Haram used to take over communities and deny people access to their farms. In some cases, they make you pay some form of taxation before you can access your farms. And where people stand up to them that they are not going to pay, they make them pay with their lives. That was what happened in Kebbi State, where in Kebbi South we lost 88 persons in one day. The farmers were not going to pay bandits money to have access to their farms. And then they opened fire on these farmers. In some communities in Katsina, parts of Niger, and even Zamfara, farmers are already used to negotiating with bandits, paying them some monies in exchange for peace. I mean, no one should be surprised that a bag of beans is extremely expensive now. Some 3 months ago, a bag of beans was being sold in the region of 60,000 naira. A friend of mine told me 2 weeks ago that it had gone to 103,000 naira. So why won't food items be so expensive? Because we are denying people access to their farms. In Ondo State, the government set up a plantation, and bandits went to that plantation to abduct 6 workers. Would workers want to go back to such a plantation when they remember that their colleagues were picked up by bandits? So this is the problem. They are creating a climate of fear that is not conducive for food production. We can't continue to have bandits running riot in the major food belts of our country. I mean, it's just painful.
Yeah. Lekon, the debate is on to look at the propriety or otherwise of naming bandits terrorists. And we, like a cycle, we keep going on and on and on. So a bandit is a bandit is a bandit.
Yeah, he's a criminal and he should be treated as a criminal. I don't understand when a minister says, well, if you call them terrorists, then because they are not, what was the language he used? They don't have ideological something.
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to look at it that what are we doing? Are we going to solve the problem or not? You know, and then the human GPRS that is going to talk to them, that somebody called Sheikh Ahmed, Sheikh Gumi, for example. What role is he playing, you know, when he says you cannot even describe them as criminals to start with? you know. And then I don't know if somebody sent me a video about a week or so ago, and I was alarmed. A customs officer in uniform said that he paid for the lives of himself and his men with 7 bags of I think smuggled rice or something that is. You know, that just tells you that. You remember when we were talking about Anambra? I said we send security forces into Anambra to monitor election. But when it gets to something that is so devastating to the economy, the soldiers, the policemen are found wanted. If these people can go to the accommodation staff quarters of University of Abuja in a city, what can they not do in the rural areas? And farms are generally going to be in rural areas anyway. You know. And then
they will be deserted.
Yes. So it's easy to pick somebody up. I have a friend who told me he had 1,000 acres of cotton in the north. He told me in 2017 that he doesn't go to his farm again. I said, why? He said he will be kidnapped. I didn't know that things are going to get this worse. It's even worse than the scenario he was painting for me then.
Adeoye, these are times that try men's souls. And so you're looking at the picture, something must be flooding your mind.
Bandits or terrorists, the fact of the matter is that bandits they terrorize the people. You know, they are involved in terror, they are involved in kidnapping, violence and all that. But bandits are not spirits, they are human beings. They live somewhere, they have parents, they have brothers, they sleep somewhere in the night. And they have telephones, they communicate with telephones. How do they register those telephone lines? And of course, what is happening now is that they are establishing footholds in certain communities for harvesting crops planted by some other people. They are establishing a kind of government, running a kind of economy in certain communities, collecting taxes from people. And I wonder, they are operating in savanna area, not tropical forest. So they cannot be hidden. Any low-flying object.
They can't be so-called unknown gunmen.
If you are talking about Vietnam, you know, during the days of guerrilla warfare, where people can hide under thick forests and all. These are savanna areas. Just if you are in commercial vehicle plane, you will see them. You know, you'll be able to see the savanna. So what is so special that our drones, our airplanes cannot capture them, take their pictures, identify them, and monitor the telephone numbers that they use. When they kidnap, they call using telephone lines, and these phones are registered. So it's surprising.
Jones, don't you see? You call an Uber driver
that we don't have a solution.
As the Uber driver is coming, you can see him moving towards you. And you are going
on the telephone caller ID, you can identify this.
I hear me. We must go, and so we must obey the backroom boys. Lekon Shote, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jones.
Adewale Adeoye, many thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And we want to thank Babajide Kolade Otitoju in Abuja. Thank you for your time too, Jide. Come to Lagos. This is where it's happening. Okay. And then, of course, we want to thank Kunle Awobodu, the past president, Nigerian Institute of Builders, and so on.